In part because it's what I've grown to enjoy the most, but in part because I love being a part of the biggest day of somebody's life. I had no interest in doing, I've done a little bit of club work, I've done a little bit of kind of radio work, I've done a little bit of, you know, the other types of parties, but weddings is the only thing I've ever really loved doing. I was vinyl the whole time up until 1994 when I went to do a wedding in a hotel. Left all my gear there because I didn't have a car at the time, came back the next day, somebody had, you know, stolen all of it. So when you're forced to start from scratch and you work in a record store, which I did part-time, and I got 25% discount and everything. So that was the point at which, you know, you start back up again. And so I was CD pretty much all the way through that. We have these ongoing arguments in the DJ community about beat matching and blah, 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 and all the rest of it. For most of the 90s, and I've done, I don't know, 500 weddings, 500, 600 weddings, whatever. For most of the 90s, I did most of my weddings on 2 CD players with no pitch controls. 2 home Sony CD systems, all the rest of it. Managed to put people on the floor, managed to get referrals, managed to make people happy. You know, how do we manage it without beat matching? I don't know, it's a staggering thing. Which just goes to show that it is, as always, about the music, and it always will be about the music. What you do with it is one thing, but it's always going to be about the music. And for me, I don't get into any of these arguments because it just blows my mind. So, I did that for a while. I had my own business for a while. I had a multi-op business, which I was lucky enough to fall into, let's just say. The guy I bought it from was getting divorced and didn't want his wife to have anything. So I offered not only that I got to buy his business, but that I got to buy it out of profits generated by the business he was selling me. So, all right, well, let me get this straight. You're gonna let me have the business, make money, and from that money, pay you for the business. Yeah, all right, yeah, I'll have some of that. So we did that. And then one night in 2002, I was at a wedding. I do a lot of kind of prep work and what have you, but you know, you all know anybody that goes to these events, you all know that there's only so much you can plan, and then after a certain point, it's kind of like a Mustang, you just kind of have to get on board and go the way it goes. It was one of those nights which just goes absolutely incredible. Just one of those, I mean, it was practically carried shoulder high from the building. I've got the firstborn getting named after me, the bride's dad is grabbing me by the neck and saying, I wanted a band, I always thought DJs were crap, and you know, I never sat down all night. And so you go home, you've got all these compliments ringing in your ears, you've got the adrenaline flowing, and I couldn't sleep. And so I went into this, this general chat room where I met my wife. And a year later we were married, and I moved 4,500 miles over here to start a new life here. And I didn't want to DJ. Well, it wasn't that I didn't want to DJ. I thought 2 things. I thought, it's a young man's job. I thought, no. And it's a single man's job. Because I'd seen so many people that break up and hadn't managed to reconcile family and DJing and all the rest of it. Plus, let's face it, I was scared shitless. I mean, you know, I'm in a foreign country, I'm starting a new life. I didn't need to be starting a new business, I didn't need to be getting back into it. And plus, there's some pretty big differences between where I was from and where I am now on this strange piece of carpet tonight. So that's it for me. Thanks very much, everybody, and I'll pass you back to Brian.
I'm not used to a wireless mic. I use wireless mics. I don't even own one. It's all recorded. Like they're processing a twirl around. I'm going to bring up another guy from somewhere else. This guy, I started watching him about a year ago. Not quite a year ago. Anyway, he's going to tell us about DJing on the other side of the Pacific Ocean. Going to bring up John Beck, A1 Party DJs from Melbourne, Australia. Come on up, John. But you got a snake in there, yeah? Got a crocodile or something. G'day. Is it just me, or
The DJs just love talking about themselves. Just give a DJ a microphone. Just a little. Okay. I just want to first put a few things into perspective. Does anyone here know the population of Australia?
23 million.
Except for Alan. Anyone else?
23 million.
It's 21 million, 21.5 million. So, population of the USA, anyone? 304. Yeah, it is. It's 304 million according to the internet a couple of days ago. So, just to give you an idea of how little we actually are. In Victoria, the population is 5.2 million. That's the state of Victoria. Just in LA, there's 3.8 million people. And in Melbourne, which is the capital of Victoria, 3.9 million population in Melbourne. And what else have I got here? Texas, population 23 million. So there's more people in Texas than in our whole country. Now in Melbourne, I checked the yellow pages. We have 440 mobile DJs listed in the yellow pages. In the local Melbourne yellow pages, 440 mobile DJs. And as you know, some of these companies have multiple systems. So I call that a lot of competition. I'm not really sure what it's like here, but it's a lot of competition where we come from. $1,000. Anyone get more than $1,000 for a wedding? How much? 1,800. Okay. Are you sitting down? Anyone want to take a guess on what I charge for a wedding?
$5.
And I'm expensive, okay? I am an expensive DJ. I charge, and I struggle getting it, 550 Australian dollars. You might think that's not bad, but what is that in American money? It is $364. I get paid $364 to do a wedding in Australia, in US money.
How many hours?
5 hours.
What's a bottle of beer cost over there?
What does a bottle of beer cost? You have stubbies? Yeah, you have stubbies. We can get 24 stubbies for $30. But that's Australian dollars. So that will just give you an idea of the main differences. Like a normal birthday party, I would charge $440. And again, I struggle to get that. Can you do any cheaper? We have GST tax, so it's like $400 plus your 10% GST, so it's $440. And they say, "Oh, what if I pay cash? You know, can you give it to me for $400?" And you go, "Oh, all right." So they give you cash. So I get $400 for a normal party, which is $292. $292 for 5 hours work. And that's just while you're at the gig, not forgetting the hour setting up, the hour packing up, the preparation you do. So, you know, work that out, an hourly rate. So we do it for love, not money. I love this. I mean, I love this. The top 200 requested songs for a mobile DJ. How good is that? I mean, most of us know what they are, but it's just nice to see it on paper and think, hey, look, the Americans are playing pretty much the same as what we are. And I love it that AC/DC is on top of the list. And for how many years has it been on top of the list? Okay. I've got, no, it's a massive secret in our country that you all know what a kangaroo is. Yeah, what a kangaroo.
Show us what.
Well, there is such a thing as a miniature kangaroo. Hang on.
Watch it.
It's okay. And they actually fly. I actually bought some with me. Anyone want to see what a miniature flying kangaroo looks like? You ready? I'm going to wake them up. Here they are! Flying Say hi to your kids.
Can you send me?
Oh, that was good. There we go.
See, I thought this room was going to be full. I bought 2,000 of them.